And welcome to The Factor Uncensored. Tonight, we begin with an incredible story of a son and mother reuniting, and they have reunited. Houston firefighter Tyler Graf met his mother for the first time back in May 2021. Graf was born in Chile and grew up with adoptive parents in Minnesota. But he and his mother were lied to for years. His mother believed her baby died, and he was told that his mother gave him away. Graf has gone on to create the Connecting Roots organization in hopes of reuniting the kidnapped with their biological parents and families around the world. He joins us now here in the Factor Uncensored studio. I mean, it's incredible. Your story is just incredible and so inspiring for those, and it's hard to even imagine something like this happening in the United States, but not so far-fetched in Chile.
Correct.
So what happened? Take us back to the beginning.
Well, you know, I always knew I was adopted from Chile, and it was always part of who I was, and it was always a little bit of a mystique. Didn't quite know who my biological parents were or anything about the country, and you always felt like there's something there missing. You didn't have your whole story. And it wasn't till 2001, or I'm sorry, it wasn't till around 2009 or 2011 that I met some Chilean firefighters. Here at Houston Fire Department, we train firefighters from all over the world, and we just happened to be training some Chilean firefighters, and I immediately bonded with them, told them about being from Chile, and they asked if I knew anything about the country, and I told them I didn't know anything, and they asked what you know, what would I like to know about Chile to connect with my roots, and I always kind of wondered, you know, where I came from. You know, all of us adoptees, we go through life. When you fill out medical forms, ask for family history, and you always do that check mark. So there's some answers that, you know, you always kind of search for.
Was there, I can almost say, animosity as an adult or as a kid, knowing that, or thinking that your mother gave you away or your parents gave you away?
Of course. That's one of the questions I was asked. I was asked, what would you say or do if we located your biological mother? And, you know, in my mind, there's really never a good excuse to give up a child. And you wonder also, was there something wrong with me? Was I not good enough? And you carry that throughout your whole life. And so yeah, you harbor a little bit of animosity, and to all of a sudden find out that you were stolen away from your family, from your biological mother, and that you were never meant to be given away, and in fact you are good enough. That's a big weight to take off your chest, and to all of a sudden a whole lifetime animosity just melts away.
And Tyler, did you ever find out who stole you away from your mother, and was it systemic? Did that happen to a lot of parents or mothers in Chile whose children may have been given away and they had no clue what was going on, or were told, like your mother, that they died? Yes,
in fact it was a large issue during the dictatorship of Augusto Pinochet in Chile between the 70s and 1990. The master plan back then was to eradicate the poor population, to give the country more of an image of being wealthier. So the mothers in the rural towns, the indigenous mothers, and the single mothers, they were all targets of this plan to eradicate.
And when you say master plan, that just sends chills through me, because you think about Hitler and his master plan. And when you get dictators in power and control like that, you never know what they were going to do. Which category did your mother fall in? Single mother or poor mother?
She was from the countryside and was a single mother at the time. She already had 2 other children, and she, after giving birth to me, I was born by C-section, and when she came back to see me after recovering, they told her I had passed away. She asked to see a body, and there was no body to be found. She was told that they already cremated me, and that the doctors, nurses, social workers, judges everyone was part of this whole scheme. It was a well-oiled machine, and we see this same story occurring over and over. There's an estimated between 30 and 50,000 children during this time period that were kidnapped and sent into adoption, and all documents are official documents. They were drawn up by the country of Chile and signed.
When you were able to look at that woman's face and realize that was your birth mother, what was that like for you?
Well, that's before I met her in person, I saw her through Zoom, and we talked and started building a bond. And you know, it's the person that you look like, and you still have this little percent of, is this really true? Is this story? I mean, this is something you don't even dream about, and it's something you might see in a movie. So it took a little bit to kind of warm up to the idea, and one of the things that really helped, I guess, take the animosity away was that we had a DNA test done, and we, in fact, were a match. And then months later, she was brought to the United States to meet me for the first time as a surprise. And you wonder what that's going to feel like.
And you also have 3 sisters also, right?
I have, yes.
3 sisters. And it was all in part because those firefighters from Chile wanted to help you out, and they help you found your mother. And of course, you're doing that now. We're going to show a quick video, if we can, Sonora, before we run out of time, what his organization is doing, reuniting families around the country. Right now, we're looking at a video here. Who are we looking at really quick?
This is David Avery. He is one of our adoptees that we've helped. He actually is also a firefighter. He is a volunteer fire chief out in Odessa. And his case is unique just because it's showing more of this firefighter brotherhood that exists all over the world, not just here in Houston or in the United States. The firefighter brotherhood is thick, and it's a bond that can't be broken.
And there's another young lady that you all helped as well. Tell me really quick.
Her name's Christina. She's from New York City, and she was one of our very first reunitements. And I'm also proud to actually say that both of these adoptees have joined Connecting Roots and play an important role with us. And this is not my foundation. This is our foundation. It's built on us adoptees and the Brotherhood of Firefighters and just goodwill.
All right, Connecting Roots, if you want some help, reach out to them. They are changing lives and reuniting families all around the world.